Hey everyone, it's Mr. G. This week we're going to be going over Gmail, just starting from the basics and kind of moving along from there. We give you a lot of tools at the beginning of the year, like Gmail, there's contacts there we're going to talk about in a minute, Google Drive, slides, all these different pieces that all fit together, but we don't really tell you a lot about how to organize them well. So we're going to stop or slow down a little bit, and we're going to practice moving along. Some of these things you might already know, but we're going to cover it step by step so that everybody's in the same place and able to do this. Later on, we're going to work on getting our inbox cleaned up, organizing this stuff. Believe me, you are not the only ones whose inbox and all your folders look like a mess right now. That's kind of a universal thing with adults too. And we want to make sure that we're using all of our tools as well as we can so that we're not confused, so that they're helping us instead of just being something we hate looking at. So we'll clean that up later, but for now, we're just going to send a simple email, and you're going to do the same thing to your teacher from your WIN class, whichever teacher you're with right now. We're going to compose that email. Here we just put your teacher's name. So I am Mr. Gayhart. I'm pretending that I'm writing an email to myself, that I'm in my own WIN class. So the subject is test email. We want to make sure we all do the same thing just so it comes in and we can organize them all really quickly. Okay, all I put in the subject line is that brief subject. A lot of you are actually typing your whole email in there. That's not what this line is for. This is just for the subject. This is what's highlighted here so we can see really quickly. Okay, so we just want to put a really quick subject line in there. We could send it, CC stands for carbon copy. That's an old term that used to mean when we were typing or writing, copies underneath would actually get made because of this carbon paper. Someday maybe I'll show it to you, but it's something we don't even use, but we kept the word for. So carbon copy, like maybe you're letting your mom or dad in on the conversation, and I'm going to put my daughter in instead of my mom or dad in case they need to know about it too. BCC means blind carbon copy. We're not going to use that because you really shouldn't be using including people without letting everybody know that you're doing it. So down here, we're just going to say, hi, Mr. G, because just like if we saw somebody in the hall, we wouldn't just start yelling after them like with what we want them to do. We'd stop and say, hey, Mr. G. So, hey, hi, greetings, Mr. G. You can be creative with it if you want, but just something you would actually say to a real person, in this case, a teacher, an adult you're working with. Okay, hi, Mr. G is good enough. This is my test email. You're going to do the same thing. So if you need to go back, I'm not going to repeat the instructions, but you're going to do this to either me or whichever teacher you're with right now in WIN class. This is my test email. Thanks, because even if you didn't really ask them to do something, you're thanking them for kind of reading, you're taking the time to read your email. If they do reply, whatever the thing is, we're just kind of putting it as a courteous thing as opposed to demanding. We get demands on us all day. It's nice when people are courteous in email. So thanks. I'm going to say my whole name because even though I know I'm the most important Will that I know, um, the teacher doesn't necessarily recognize that right away, right? We also want to say I'm in WIN right now. I'm in WIN class. So it's Will Gayhart from WIN class. So then I'll know that that's there, and maybe we could even say WIN 1, but you know which class you're in. That doesn't matter. And then that's all I need right there. I'm going to send it. So you're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to get into some of these other attachments and things we can do later. For right now, we're just doing the very basics. We're getting our subject line right. We're adding people if we need to, and we're just practicing a greeting, and then finally a closing, and we're sending it. All right. And then I will get that and I will probably not respond to you, but I'll check off that you got the assignment completed. We'll see you in another few minutes for step 2. Take care.